All right, Tay, what's up, everyone? Back here for another tournament here, Par 3 Madness. Now, I want to just make sure my bag's set up to kind of like a default. This is pretty much my go-to. It's also very wind specific. You know, there's times where I may, switch out to a Hypnotics, as you can see. For this, one of the reasons... I might need to get it to a 9. There's really nothing here as to why I would switch up. But once this gets to a 9, this jumps up to 90. That's what it is. So as soon as that jumps up to a 9, it'll go up to 90 power, which kind of changes that distance number. And of course, Zeus at the 88 has a little bit of extra power as well, but also the accuracy boost and ball guide. So I will make that switch from time to time. We may use lightning rod in this one. We'll just have to kind of see how the holes play out. Similarly, we might have to go Viking for the extra power number. So just keep in mind that you'll have to kind of switch between your bags and just kind of play the situation at hand. Now, we're going to go through a variety of different shots in this guide. We're going to do some, some of the balls which are not pay balls, and then we might use some pay balls as well. It's really going to be kind of wind specific as the decisions we make. So here you can see I'm on cruiser right now. We might switch, up a little bit here. I'm thinking spider to knock the wind down. You'll see that makes it a little bit easier with the wind. Now, one of the things that you'll see is, this green is well above. So what that typically makes it happen is the bounces 1, 2, and 3, they're going to come in with kind of some extra wind effect. So what I try to do to negate some of that effect, you'll see here, I'm putting that right counter spin on to kind of counter that situation. Now, I want to make sure that I do get this kind of at the hole, so you can see that's what I'm doing here with the aim. Another thing I wanted to mention, I'm thinking about doing 9 holes without the grid and then 9 holes with the grid, just so we can kind of see the two different scenarios and just show that it really doesn't, change things. The good players, they're going to be able to use the green grids. They're going to be able to use, because you can see here when I zoom in, there's all these little speck marks on the rough, similar with the bunker. So it really doesn't matter if I'm using a grid. The only thing it's doing is making it more clear for me to actually pull down to those distinct points. But if I want to focus in on this piece of grass, for instance, you can see I can just zoom in and find it. So pulling to specific targets, whether you're using a grid or not, really shouldn't matter. It's all about the player and ring knowledge and wind effect. The more experience that you have, the better you're going to get at these adjustments. So one of the things with this hole that I know is bounces, and you'll see this here. I couldn't really tell on that ball guide there what was happening, but what I anticipate is the opponent probably had a little bit of a tailwind there and couldn't stop it. You'll see mine's a little bit in the face. So I know that it's the ball guide's really going to start collapsing down at a faster rate. But also, you can see that I put that right spin on to try to just counter the effect as well. This is a very tough shot when it's landed onto these uphills. So what I'll typically do here, maybe a little bit of an underplay. I don't think, I typically might go 1.5 per ring. There's 5 rings right there. I'm not going to go 1.5. I think that's going to be a little bit heavy. So 1.5 would be in the realm of 5.5. And I'm just going to go a little bit light on 5.5. So somewhere right around here. And other than that, you'll see perfect ball. And again, it's all going to be just about, how much we anticipate that wind effect. And I'm also trying to get hops 2 or 3. I always play pretty aggressive on these setups. So you'll see that I might try to get, bounce 2 or 3 going more at the hole. Because it's not going to be easy on this hole to stop. As you can see, the wind effect just starts taking over. So my ring adjustment was pretty good. What happened was not enough on the wind effect. And that's one of the hardest holes in the game. And it almost makes you glad that it's right there at the front, because that's probably going to be one of our weakest holes on this entire set, if not weakest. So getting that first hardest hole out of the way is going to be a good thing. That's one of those holes that I've really never aced. I think I've gotten it one time. It's very tough to get that, you know, regardless of the pin. So I'm going to split these up. We're going to do individual guides, and I will catch you guys on hole number 2 momentarily.